All right, fifth graders, we're going to be talking about multiplying using the standard algorithm. This might seem a little tedious, but I really want you to learn this algorithm. You might already know it. If you do, just take notes on it. It'll be easy for you. If you don't, we're going to take this step by step. The reason you should learn this, and this I've talked to the middle school teachers, when you have bigger numbers like 4-digit times 3-digit or things like that, this is so much more efficient than some of the other methods you learn in younger grades. And it's also, this year, it'll be easier to understand with decimals because we're going to do decimals with these numbers shortly. But we have to learn how to do whole numbers first. Once we have that down, then we can move on to the decimals. All right, I would turn your paper sideways because we're going to go step by step. We're going to make this look like an instruction manual that you can use at school. So it's extremely important that you bring this to school if you are in person. All right, so we're going to go, yeah, it's going to seem a little slow, and that's okay. But there's no questions. It's just going to be watch the video, press pause if I go too fast. All right? So let's say we have 43 times 25. I'm going to show you, just copy everything I write from this point on. So first of all, we're going to write it horizontally. Okay. The first thing we want to do, we're going to call this step 1. First thing we want to do, and you might want to take a different color or something, is we're going to do 5 times 3, which is 15. So the 5 goes here, and the 1 gets carried over the 4. That is what we do first. Put a box around that. Step 2. Rewrite the problem. I know this, like I said, this might seem tedious, but this will show you exactly what to do tomorrow in class. Next, we did 5 times 3. Now we're going to do 5 times 40, which is right here. The 4 is there. So we're going to write 5 times 4. And we're going to add the 1, because remember, there was a 1 there from previously. So 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 21. 20 plus 1 is 21. So that is step 2. So we have call that row 1. Row 1 is done. Okay. Now we'll go to step 3. So we have 43 times 25. We have 215. Now we are going to put a 0 here. This is not magical. That's all of step 3. That 0 does not represent nothing. This 2, we're not going to be multiplying by the 2 here. That 2 means 20, and that's the 0 and 20 is right there. That's what the 0 is. So they call it a magic 0. It's not that magical. It's actually extremely important. So step 4. 215, and we have a 0 here. Now we are going to do 2, and you could circle these if you wanted, if you don't have different colors. 2 times 3, which is 6. So we put a 6 there. Almost done. Step 5. 43 times 25. 215, a 0, and a 6. So now we're going to do 2, which is 20, times 4, which is 8. 2 times 4. I'm going to move my multiplication table. Use these. If you don't know your facts, have a table out in front of you. They're in those notebooks. So that's moved. Okay. And that's going to lead us to step 6, which is our last step. Step 6, we are going to add our numbers together. Now the key to this is just make sure they're lined up by place value carefully. And your answer is 1075. Now when you're done with this, because you're going to have some problems to do at the end of this video, check it with a calculator. I'm going to grade you on showing your work, so you have to show your work regardless. But yeah, you can use a calculator to check. I'm going to check mine right now, 43 times 25. Yay, I did expect 1075. That would have been really embarrassing. All right, so those are the steps. So now you have this as a roadmap for future problems. So put a big box around this whole thing. This is your how-to paper. Bring it to school. Okay, 34 times 562. I'm just going to do this regularly. I'm not going to do it step by step. I'm just going to walk you through this. Do this one with me. First of all, always put the one with more digits on top. Remember, you can multiply in any order you want. So put the one with more digits on top. All right. All right, so now I'm going to do row 1. Row 1 is basically 562 times 4. That's going to be row 1. All right, so here we go. 4 times 2, 8. 4 times 6 is 24. Carry the 2. 4 times 5 is 20. 20 plus 2 is 22. That is row 1. Like I said, if I'm going too fast, pause it. Always got to put a 0 there because this 3 here technically means 30. So the 0, that's what the 0 is from. Okay. We're going to write 562 times 30. This is row 2. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 6, 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 5 plus 1, 16. Notice how everything is lined up, okay, before we add these. Very important, especially in decimals. Students mess up when they don't line them up. All right, we got to add them up. 8, 10, carry the 1. 11, carry the 1. 9, 1, 19,108. Check this with a calculator, see if I did it correctly. 562 times 34. 1910. I did that correctly. And I probably did that in like a couple minutes. Once you get good at this, you should be able to do this in a couple minutes or less. In the beginning, it might be a little bit slower. All right, here we go. Which one has more digits? The first number does, so we're going to put that on top. Whatever has more digits, put that on top. Okay, row 1 is going to be 2346 times 2. And row 2 is going to be 2346 times 70. So those are our rows. All right, here we go. 2 times 6 is 12. Carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 is 4. Next one, put that 0 there. Very important because that 7 is not 7, it's 70. 7 times 6 is 42. Carry the 4. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 4 is 32. 7 times 3, 21 plus 3 is 24. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. When you're at the end, you just put both numbers. And now we add them up. 2, 11, carry the 1. 9, 8, 16. Check that. Let's see if I can go 3 for 3. 72 times 2346. It's 168,912. I did it correctly. Thank goodness. Whew, that was a close one. Just got a little worried on that one. Alrighty. So to add to your notes to finish your homework is I want you to solve these 4 problems. You need to show your work just like I did on the previous page. You can see my work there. It's clear. That proves to me you can do it without using just a calculator. And please try to do it in this method. It might be hard in the beginning, but after a while, it'll go really fast. All right, so finish those 4 problems, add them to your notes, and then upload it to Google. And if you're in person, bring it to school. Please bring it to school, especially the first page we did.